boxes, young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training hours a day, playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I give up on the easy. Sweatworks what we need you, if sweatworks what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatworks what we need you, if sweatworks what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he's got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
packing.
his
He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes. True, not over the board, it's only the other chap. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatworks what we need you, sweatworks what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatworks what we need you, if sweatworks what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes, young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training hours a day, playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatworks what we need you, if sweatworks what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatworks what we need you, if sweatworks what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hack, and
Mo.
he got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chap. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatworks what we need, G. Sweatworks what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatworks what we need, G. Sweatworks what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practice his rhythm, he even upped his fitness, he found spar.
Alright, so here is my business. We're gonna go games. Analysis board. Sign in. Ta-da. I had to redo all my cache because my internet was moving slow as sin, and now it's still moving slow as sin, dude. Something's wrong with my computer, dude. It's painful. Okay. So I go games. I go my games. No, I go games. Analysis board. Starting position. Please stop taking so long, dude. Someone has a tip. I don't know. I just cleared all the browsing data because my internet speed is amazing, but I can't do anything here. Okay. We flip. I make Shadoob. I make Shadoob. It's a very painful loss today, my friends. This kid's elo is barely like nothing, dude. Oh God, when was this? Fudge. Good evening, Grenborg. Ooh, I don't really remember when this was. Okay, it was like... it was late August. We're going to call it... I don't know. Let's call it the 28th, bro. All right. DC International round 1. Okay, good. And then we go here, time control. I'm going to say 01 to 30 with a bonus of 30. I update. Okay, so let's go ahead and save it. We'll save and publish. And here we go. Now I go game review. Okay. It is always a painful. All right, so boom, 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 boom. Now, I played d5, but I actually want to look at what the computer says about c5, because that's what I want to know. I want to play it, you know? I want to play. My computer might just be totally host here. Okay, so my computer likes what I did. Wow. It's pretty impressive, honestly, to think that Okay, so here we go. I'm going to leave it on the computer on just for a little bit for the opening stages. Mostly because I'm looking for, I would like a different way to play against the Catalan. If it's something appeals to me, catches my fancy. Okay. Right. It's all happened. So far, we're like computer best moves all the way around. He plays rook c1. Okay. Now, I guess this is where I want to turn off the computer. And we'll ask the computer later for its opinion on various things. The kid up to rook c1 has spent 0132, and I played a 5, and I've got 0133. Okay, and I'll say the engine showed me this move, this nice move before the game. All right. We'll say okay. So we expand. I'll try to put in my own logic. We expand the A8 rook, look for B5, and due to rook C1 are less concerned about E4 breaks. Okay, so now the kid played this next move very quickly. I was surprised by how fast he moved. Felt like computer prep. But at the same time seemed wrong. White intends to meet B5 with a bishop F1 question mark. All right, I'm going to give it one of these. All right, so I played 94. Okay. And I've got 0131. Here, I resort back to my typical F5 intuition. All right. I'm going to say, yeah. All right. So, B5 is interesting. CB, CB, maybe knight C3, bishop A6, bishop F1, rook C8, queen B3, maybe white's better. Maybe queen b3 is a mistake. Yeah, no queen b3. Actually, let's go here. Delete this. Maybe white's better. Question mark. Okay. All right, let's do this. I have a feeling this is where the game, like b6 is the standard move. Let's just look at the database. Oh, look at there. I'm right there. Oh, this is the Dojo Masters. Let's go Masters database. Right, so A5 has been played the most. All right, so A5. So you got all kinds of moves here. A4, and then 12 people played E3. Okay. And now 4 people played knight E4. A couple people played B5. Let's see if there's anyone super strong here. Posny and Balog and Sarana. Gukesh played this, buddy. All right. Well, we got some good people to look at. All right, so let's go look at this one first. We'll just see how this game went. Bishop F1, knight C3, queen B8, makes some sense. Black seems fine, huh? Interesting game. Okay, let's go back. Flip it. Bishop D6. Also fine. You got nothing there. All right. I have loads of strong players here playing this variation. So here's one with my game. Knight E4, bishop E1. Amazing. F5, knight C3. And here's where I played bishop D6. This guy plays king H8. A3. F6. Oh, fun. Fun in the sun? I'm not sure I understand. What's happening here? Okay, hold on. Why can't I play? I guess bishop c4, he's going to make a claim about all the light squares opening up. Let's just check this with the computer for a second, because that's pretty interesting. Bishop c4, ed4. And now I take. Huh. Light square death. Okay, that's cool. Black seems fine here. It's not totally different from the game I have. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, White won that bad boy. Wait a second, dude. He put on a masterclass there. I wasn't even aware. Look at this guy. That looks like a mistake. Huh? Better bishop, dude. Okay. And he just whacks it. Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay. This is a very, well, I'm learning something today. Yeah, interesting. Okay, let's do another sample game here. So, this is Gukesh. A couple years ago. So, we'll start here. This guy's Sargsyan. B5. This might have been a 15-minute game just by the, I don't know why it's saying 15 at the bottom there. Yeah, World Team Rapid. Okay. Kind of amazing. And then got a couple more strong players doing this variation. Uh-huh. Okay. The famous Vincent Keimer playing as black. Okay, let's see what went down. E3. He played my move, buddy. He played my move, buddy. He played my move, buddy. Wow. Okay, so check it out. A3 here. Also what's interesting is white in this game is going to play c5. To me, that seems a mistake. We'll ask the computer later. I thought it was a mistake. I played g5 here because I'm a madman. This guy plays queen e7, keeping it cool. Whoa, look at that. I mean, that's got to be good for black right there, buddy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What heat. The heat is on. It's on the street. Ooh, ooh. What a game. Wow. Okay. Amazing. That was incredible. And then we got one more. That was a pretty high level game. Okay. My moves. A3. Everybody, but it's amazing. The kid played A3. Oh, G5. That's my move. B4. G4. 92. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. There's some spicy sauce. Do I understand this? Kind of. Oh, there's full heat. I don't know what's happening here. I'm going to get... That looks like time trouble in the end. Funnily enough, my game, the end of my game, isn't going to look dissimilar from this. So, amazingly, Rothstein here plays my move order. And here the kid played C5 instead of B4. Okay, amazing. Whew. All right, I got to take a quick... Am I doing the grad show? I did the grad show yesterday. Grad show happened yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to take a quick potty break, but I'm going to turn you guys onto a song. All right, here we go.
Welcome.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he's got more follows than my boy Eric Geisy. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hack, and
Miles.
he got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board. It's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless. He rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction. The status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo.
All right, my friends, we are back. Oh yeah, Jepara, you got to sign up for round robin, bro. So, Bachman C5 in his Nimzo long-term repertoire, claiming that Benoni is completely sound once white plays G3. Now, that's a very interesting question because I played the Benoni as a kid, and I'm into it, but the problem is it's very computery. Very computery. Right, and I'd have to like kind of memorize a lot of stuff, you know? And the old man in me is kind of into it. And I did it a couple times, but it was so hectic. So hectic. Interestingly, that's one of the reasons I turned the computer on move 3. I was like, how do you feel about C5, you know? I'm mostly, this is what I've learned about myself, actually. I want to put this out there. Maybe we'll put it here. And we'll put it here. So, comment, no, I want to, so I'm going to say, what I've learned about myself. As black, I want a key imbalance. Like space French or the development for bishop in the Nimzo Indian. Here, I'm playing a kind of conventional position I've never felt comfortable with. Okay. Well, let's have fun with it then for a second. People are saying C5. I mean, okay. Whatever the computer says, it doesn't really matter. I know C5 is playable, but let's just see what the computer says. Computer hates everything more white. It hates Benoni, dude. It just despises it. Let's just go best play for a little bit. Actually, I'll just go hit spacebar. This is our new feature on the Dojo. You just hit spacebar. Yeah, all pretty normal stuff so far. Normal. A4 is a little weird, but you're gonna end up doing it anyway. And then this knight e4 move has been debated since the beginning of time. Though, let's get the move order correct, because normally it's just a human's not going to do a4. They're going to play castles. Let's say I do rook e8. And right, bishop f4 I would say is the main move. Rook e1's also a thing. So yeah, here's the thing, my friends. If I played this variation, I would have to... The computer would always be against me. That's number one. Number two, I would have to have an idea on bishop f4, rook e1, and knight d2. And like, I guess fundamentally I believe white is better. That doesn't mean it's not fun to play or some shit like that, but just fundamentally. Fundamentally. Yeah. Yeah, so there it is, my friend. There it is, Submarine Mike. You could do it. You could do it. It's just, there's a little bit of pain. Knight d2 is the, like, old school variation, you know. Bishop f4, really a hard sell. Okay. So, let's turn it off. We'll delete this variation here. Okay. One of the things I was also looking for is there's so many different ways to play against the Catalan. And maybe g3, the move order helps black a little bit. Keep away from some of the weird stuff. All right, so here we go. All right. I think e3 was weird. It's obviously been played by a lot of people. He, I guess, thought about it too. So, knight e4, I thought for a little bit. He plays bishop e1. And he thinks for a couple minutes. And we'll say if knight c3, knight d2, I can also play f5. But knight d2, this looks a lot like the old variation in the Cambridge Springs. And I'll just call this unclear. All right, so bishop e1. And now I played f5 after a couple minutes. And dude played knight c3 fairly quickly. So Actually, another thing I want to say here is bishop d6 is also a plan that occurred to me in my analysis. We eventually play e5. Okay, so knight e4, bishop e1, f5, knight c3. Now, if you recall, there was a game with a strong player played king h8 and then bishop f6. Okay, I played bishop d6. Right, I think Keimer also played bishop d6 in this position. And now a3. Say I wasn't thrilled with this move, but a couple strong, or at least one strong player, have done it. That's true, Jepra. That's very true. Okay. And I went for it here and played g5 like a madman. This was my first real think, as it should be if I'm going to do this. I'm going to give it this kind of thing. I'm going to say a madman move. I felt this worked against b4, and I was definitely not afraid of c5. Keimer played the more flexible queen e7. Which, when you look at it, and like, well, that's what you should do, buddy. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if we're now out of the position database. Yasugi asks, is coaching any point for me, or am I too low level? Coaching's always a point. Right, excuse me, this is where Mamedyarov played b4. You can always do coaching. I would say the dojo is the easiest first start. Even if you're going to have coaching, you want to have the dojo to keep track of your stuff. And also, the dojo we're working towards building workshops with other players. So instead of you just meeting with a coach, you could meet with players and a coach. Also, at the dojo, you could meet with players around your level, when you wouldn't even have to pay them anything, right? Problem of coaching is, of course, the cost. All right, so g5, c5 is what Kid played. And he spent forever on it. And we'll say, at the time I felt this was a positional blunder. But maybe White's position is still playable. Okay, but I'm definitely going to give it one of these marks. Now, Mamedyarov played b4. And I'm going to put in my analysis first. So, boom, 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 boom. And if knight e4, bishop e, oh God. Okay, wait a second. So it's mind numbing here. Here we're just lost. Okay, thank you. Hey guys, just lost. So delete from here. All right, so bishop e4, knight e4, bishop e1. What a mess. Why am I not worse here? Why am I just not losing? Let's look at this again. Pretty sure I looked at this in my analysis anyway. I am a little confused. I have a bad feeling in my notes I only considered bishop e1, knight b6. Okay. Yeah, I only considered knight e6 here, but he just plays knight eg5 and I'm completely lost. What are we talking about here? Oh. Yes, what are we seeing? Of course. Very good. So, I knew there was something weird about this. All right, so we're going to claim that that's better for black. Now, in this Mamedyarov game, thank you. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. Bishop b4. I think Mamedyarov played cd5. Is it something I understand? I don't think so. Let's go look, because I think he played cd5 or something here. No. Well, what was it? He played b4. And... oh, wait a second. Of course, my whole idea was g4 in this position. So wait a second. Boss. A b4. Wait, there's no bishop e7. He's up a piece, dude. He's up a piece. Oh. All right, time out. We're a little bit slow today. I'm a little slow. Delete from here. All right, so here we go. b4. G4. This was the point. Okay. Knight D2. Takes. 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 Right. He took here. Okay, I just want to say first, before I do anything else, I'm going to say I got to this point in the analysis and felt white couldn't do this. But I think I missed something here. Knight DE4. Okay. Now he plays DE4. And now Knight E4. Bishop E1. Knight D6. I had also looked at this, bro. Wait, I do have this in my notes. Okay. Take it easy. Bishop E4. Okay, I still understand what we're doing. Right. Oh. Knight C8, so brutal. Jesus. Oh. And what are we talking about here? Interesting position? Someone's better? I don't know. You got to believe in white. I mean, I don't know. It's not worse for black. Whew. Okay, so let's turn on the engine here and see. I'm sure they got it wrong too, or at least I'm guessing they got this wrong. So here we go. Knight DE4, DE4, Knight E4. This is all in here. E1, Knight D6, Knight F6. That's weird, dude, because you're allowing Knight C8. Wow, look at that variation it's got. Okay, so Bishop A5, Knight C8, Bishop C7. Knight A7 is interesting. It's not going anywhere, but it's going to be interesting. Wow. That's the full spice. Yeah, why not Knight B6, bro? Yeah, so black's maybe a little bit better. Okay. Jeez, Melise, dude. we'll say Mohamed Fiarov Rothstein. I can't spell his name. It's like Rothstein. Oh my God. Okay, so let me just say something obvious. The part of the point of G5 was that if I kick him to G4 with G4, that's his only good move. And then I'll be able to take on B4. Obviously, it was more complicated than that. It's still like this guy likes, who knows what's going on over there, man. What a mess. He wants the knight H4. I got to turn this off or else it's going to influence me. Okay, so C5. 23 minutes spent. Can't do that. Okay. Or I could stop and we could work. Okay, so C5. I thought it was suicide. Bishop C7. B4. And now I play G4. We're going to say 0-1-13. And we'll say about this move, very committal, and in particular makes bishop C8 a hardship case, but still seems best. We'll ask the computer later. Okay. If I play E5, then I believe the issue for Mr. Tissue would be knight takes, pawn takes, bishop takes, F3, knight F6, F4, exclam. And we'll say white's better. Okay, we'll check with that at the computer later. So G4, and he tanks on this one, 92. One reason it's so unbelievable I lost this game was I had such a nice, I had a positional and time advantage, bruv. Just say didn't seem right. So 92, and I'm going to play E5, of course. We'll say 111. Here, I felt I had to be clearly better. But there is very little that is clear about this position. Okay, so here we go. E5, knight 2. He takes forever. And I played Queen F6. Okay, so we're gonna say seems right. I need to make knight f4 difficult. Now, if I had played queen g5, e takes, knight takes, knight f4 seemed unclear to me. Okay. All right, my friends, I'm going to use this little moment to take a break, get another coffee because I deserve one, but I do have a rap for you. This is from my friend David Bruce. Enjoy.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hacking.
Mouse.
He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board. It's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless. He rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction. The status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, rating's what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the club is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hacking.
Mouse.
He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes. True, not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still, his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatworks what we need, G. Sweatworks what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatworks what we need, G. If Sweatworks what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practice his rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatworks what we need, G. If Sweatworks what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatworks what we need, G. If Sweatworks what I
Flixie boy.
believe, ratings what I'll receive.
Thank you for subscribing. Sorry it was such a long wait. I had to get my coffee. All right, here we go. Queen F6. All right. Yeah, I spent a lot of time analyzing this. I have 11 pages of notes, and a lot of it was just navel gazing at this position. I mean, like, what am I supposed to do? All right. Dude plays rook a b1, and he takes forever. And now he's creeping into time pressure zones. All right. So let's do a couple variations just to elucidate. If e4, knight e5, knight f4, snip, snop, rook, rook, knight f3, I'm winning, and we're going to call that the point of queen f6. All right. So, if knight b3, a4, I didn't actually, and if didn't actually consider knight a5. Maybe he could do it. That's very weird. It's making me lose my mind a little bit. So right, I go e takes, e takes. Oh wait, yeah. And then I can I do it. I think this is just better. And if he plays e takes, knight takes, then of course I have either knight c5 directly or bishop a5. No, I don't want to do bishop a5 because then he's got bishop b4. C5. Good. We're going to call that, we're going to call this better. Delete here. Okay, so there's that. And then the other variation was snip, snap, knight b3. Lacrios, thank you for subscribing. I felt this was the key variation in the game. The one I had burned some time on. What should black do? Question mark. I had an idea. I'm having a little trouble remembering it. I believe I want knight g5. All right, get your notes, bro. Queen f6, rook ab1. I did so many notes on this game. So, knight g5, and if knight bd4, ab, rook takes, knight ef3. With, I don't know, it looks good. At the very minimum, let's call it an attack. All right, so now W. Reynolds is asking, when did I play the Dutch? This was actually a Catalan that turned into a Dutch structure. So, okay. Knight g5, knight bd4. Then I spent some time analyzing knight ed4. This move concerns less as it really wants to be on f4. But still not easy for black to play. Now, what I also want to say is During the game, I was very reluctant to move my fatty knight from e4. I'm going to give that an exclam. So now, knight ed4. Now we have a bunch of complicated variations. Yeah. All right. Hold on. Hold on to your horses because I came up with something interesting here. Knight f3. Knight takes. Knight takes. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. In fact, get your move order right, buddy. He's going to delete from here. So, boom, he's going to take with the bishop. Knight, knight, pawn. And now queen d1. We're going to look at knight d4 in a second. f4. Queen f3 takes. Takes here, here. And we're going to call that better for black. It might be winning, in fact. Okay, now, queen d1, knight d4, I have f4, exclam. Attack. And what do you have, buddy, on knight d2? On knight d2, I have AB, exclam. Better for black. Kind of amazing, honestly. Yeah, I don't know if it's better for black, bro. You know. I don't know. It's a good question, honestly. Actually, wait, don't play AB4. I take that back. AB4 is cool looking, but the main point is I play F4. Yes, that is the main point. Exclam, and I say, with attack. So I love this variation. I thought this was very cool. We'll see what the computer says later. Black Rios asks, question from an OTB newbie. How did you annotate the time? I just wrote it down. Yeah, it seems like it's hard, but it's not. And you actually also, during the game, get a sense of what's going on. So, like, I was very aware that this kid was burning way too much time. Here's our preliminary look. You know. This is our preliminary look. What is going on here? We don't want to overlay the evaluation. We want to show the ideal. Yeah. We'll get more info as we go. See, both players kind of knew the opening, and then, honestly, the time evaluation becomes more of a thing later. Okay, so let's get back to the business. Oh, you guys couldn't see that. Sorry. Sorry, I'll show it again later. But basically, the time graph at this early stage doesn't mean too much at the moment. But I'm just trying to say, when I was doing the kid's time during the game, it was a useful thing just to like note it on the score sheet. Just be like, right, this dude thought forever. Okay, so here we go. Rook AB1. Right. Now, Rook AB1. Interesting move. Oh, it's very spicy. played ED. I'm actually going to give myself an exclam here. So, 47, that was a huge tank. And my voice is very low. Can someone else tell me if that's true? I got this thing kind of in front of me, kind of. Sometimes my voice might just get real low. I don't know. How come this little knobber thing is moving all around? I want you to be moving, buddy. Oh, man. There we go. All right. Hopefully it'll stick. All right. ED4, exclam. Was very anti-intuitive to what do you want to say? To help White's E2 knight, but I'm ultimately working against knight f4. All right, and he took forever again, knight d4. How long did he take? I am giving. Oh yeah, he took forever, dude. Dude, he's already down to 25 minutes. He's down 25 minutes. So, what are you doing, buddy? This time graph that I'm looking at here doesn't look right. There's something wrong with it. It can't be. I don't know what could be wrong with it though. I mean, he's got. Okay, let me just show you. So this is the widescreen, and right, we both didn't use too much time, and then he's crashing here. Right, if I go back up one. Yeah. So basically, he had saved himself a lot of time, and then it's in these next two moves where he really tanked. You can see it nicely on this graph. Okay, good. So we'll go back to game review here. And we'll say ED4. I think a nice move is rook E8. Give that an exclam. Intending knight f8 and e6, and we're going to call that black is better. And also we want to say that was too long, played too slowly. I'm giving him a, yeah, this one too. Let's give him a play too slowly. All right. Can someone confirm if my voice is really low or not? Okay. So ED4, knight D4, knight E5. I'm going to say I decide against opening the A file, as it seemed like I'm just giving white a later rook A1. We'll see what the comp says later. Okay, so knight E5, B5. We're going to say it's hard to find a plan for white, and the trouble with B5 is that it's not clear white will ever be threatening anything. Journey Sky, thank you for following. Maybe you can tell me if my voice is really low. All right. b5. He tanked again on it. Oh, man. Right. And now I have to make a judgment call. I played h5. And I didn't think too long about it. Same. In our convo after the game, the kid said this was too slow and that I should have played knight g5. But I don't get knight d5 when f3 is so well covered. And the h pawn suggests itself strongly as white isn't doing much. All right. Is it really so low? Help me out if it really is. Tell me if I'm really so low. I don't understand. My mic is right here. My internet's being a little funny recently. A little funny, so I don't know what's going on. Okay. Oh, don't be annoying to me. All right. Now, h5, knight e2. Maybe a good move. Spent 46 minutes. Yeah, I spent more time on. Wait a second. Yeah, knight e2. He's got 16 left. 16 left. Too long for sure, but a good prophylactic. Attempt. All right, so now 82, h4. I spent too long on that. Okay. Too long. Was I really over concerned with GH? Okay, so now knight f4, 12. And now a big decision for me. I played rook f7. All right. All right, so we're going to call this a very ambitious move. Aiming for the big H-file swing and trying to stop D5 tactics. I missed White's next move. But there are reasons that my subconscious wasn't concerned with knight e4. All right, so the other thing, though, that's really interesting, h3, the alpha 0 move. To play this, I need to believe in the power of my long-term bind on the king side, and need to see that I can play knight g5 next. I kind of like this move. Rook f7, maybe the computer will say it's all the same. It's all the same, but I like this. I like it as an idea in any case. So h3, bishop h1, knight g5. And we're going to say clear advantage to black. We're going to say yes, it's hard to penetrate the white position, but the kid can barely move here. All right. I'm going to say this was the tactic that I feared. But this position has to be winning for black. All right, so this was too long. We want to mark that with one of those turtle signs. Maybe we'll look at our time graph here real quick. So here's the current state of the time graph. Uh-oh, don't do that. Don't just show this one, buddy. Yeah. So far, I don't, and I don't have any problems with me not taking time on that part, because I was kind of familiar with the position. And here I have to start tanking a little bit. So I'd actually, if I was being subjective about it, I would give myself a higher rating. This kid, though, he's in trouble with the time situation. Okay, let's go back. All right, rook f7. And now he plays knight e4, fe4. Bishop c3. Actually, at knight e4, he's down to 9 minutes. Bishop c3, and then I played queen h6, and I got 29 left. bishop e5. Bishop e5. This guy's a god. I'm going to say, here I felt I had to be better. So, boom, boom, boom. And we're going to call this, actually BC, he's got 7 minutes left. And now we've reached our first critical position. Yeah, it's kind of interesting when you think about it. So it'd be like the first phase of the game was interesting positional questions, and now we have a massive calculation challenge. And I'm the one with the lead on the clock. So exemplary to this point. Fauger says, new chess books, or did you just rearrange them? I moved, yeah. I'm still in Baltimore. Got a nice new place. All right, so this is a madness position. Okay. So, right. Now, I played HG, and I told myself, I think I have 27 minutes. I was entirely unsure how the kid should recapture, but I knew I wanted to open the H file. Okay, let's spell it correctly. All right. HG. Rook H7. Oh boy. Yeah. Rook H7, and now the kid comes up with, here I thought I was winning. But it was far more complicated than I could imagine. All right, so kid plays Queen B3. And he's got 5 minutes left. Let me just deal with something real quick. I'll be right back.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hacking.
Mouse.
He got blocked by Short, ignored by the Vork, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes. True not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 data.
All right, we're back. So, it's a really hot position. I played Bishop A6. And I spent, I've got 15 minutes left. Excuse me. 15. So I spent 12 and a half minutes on this decision. Maybe I should have spent more. All right. A4. I think this is the exclam. During the game, I couldn't figure out Queen D1. Okay, so we're hitting this thing. We're hitting this thing. Rook A6, exclam, Knight D5, Queen H2, King F1, Rook F7, exclam. I'm pretty sure this is my variation. I spent a lot of time in this position. Whew! Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm going to look at my notes, but I'm pretty sure that was what I eventually came up with, and there was a lot of juice in there. So, it's a very difficult variation to find. Yeah. No, this was actually an example of where it went wrong, dude. Knight F4, exclam. I found all this in the after party. And this is plus minus. So, no exclam for you, buddy. That's right. Say it looks winning at first. So brutal that there's like this false path here. All right, so A4, Queen D1. Bishop c7. Knight d5. Hot doesn't even begin to describe it, my friends. Bishop takes. Knight takes. Check to the miserable king. King f1. What are we doing here? Oh my God, it's crazy. Here we go. Bishop a6. Delete that, bro. So bishop a6, double exclamation point. So now, buddy, you sure about this? Queen g4, king h8. If queen h4, I go snip, snop, rook g8, and I claim that you're done. Okay. Right. So now, then, if knight c4, I believe I play rook f8 exclam. And we're going to call this winning. It's an amazing position. It is simply a stunning position. All right, I want to review this because that was like one of the hardest variations I've ever had to find. Rook a6. What is the idea, by the way? That the guy cannot recapture. We can't take our bishop on a6. Now, another question, bruv. What about here? What was your answer here? No, there's no rook a6, though, but we were playing bishop c7. That's the whole point. Bishop c7. Look at this move, because you got to find that. Allowing queen g4, my friends. Allowing queen g4. Oof, 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 oof. Oh, man. Okay, so queen b3, bishop a6, rook takes, bishop e4. All right, and now he's got 5 minutes left. My first take on this position was that I had to be better. But during my analysis, I've completely flipped that assessment. White is at least clearly better. So this is what we're going to say is this very natural move, bishop a6, was a mistake. We'll see what the computer says later. Bishop e4, and I'm going to just say clear advantage. This is still a very complicated position. Rook f7. I don't know what else to do, honestly. If I go rook e7. It's knight g6, and I guess that's a loss for me. Because he goes knight e5, queen e5, rook e5, and queen b8. Now he finds a very nice move, bishop g6, exclaim. I go rook g7, bishop f5, bishop g6. He's got 2 minutes left. And rook g7, bishop f5. Rook g7, I got 10 minutes left. And now I went a4. There's just so many different ways I'm like losing my junk here. All right, I played a4. Got 8 minutes left. If bishop f4, ef. That looks lost. It's going to have like rook a8, rook e1. I'm just going to say, looks terrible for me. Yeah, I don't know. We'll put it plus minus. Okay. Queen d3. And now I got to go here. I have 6 minutes left. If I go rook a8, he has knight d5, rook d8, knight e7, plus minus. If queen f6, simply bishop d3, exclam, with knight h5, plus minus. That's so brutal. And he plays rook b1. And I'll say, if I don't have this move, then I toast anyway. And now for my denouement against this little kid. That was brutal, dude. I feel like that was pretty unfair. Okay. Let's see if I can find this. Rook b8, knight d5, king h8, knight f4, queen f6, knight here, king g8, queen c4, king g7, queen g4, king f7, queen h5, bishop b2, some kind of terrible thing happened to me here. I can't even remember it too well. I think that was what happened. Okay, so we're going to check. It was very painful. Okay. Let's check a little time graph. I'll show that. Not the time graph. Show this one, buddy. Yeah. So my time graph, amazing. This kid, he lived on the increment forever at the end, man. Dang. I should have had this game, dude. I was killing this fool. All right. So now, let's return to the game review. And we're going to ask the computer a couple questions about a variety of points. So one, in this position, or actually in this one, my guess is that g5 is actually too much, and I should probably play Keimer's move, queen e7. Here we go. It still likes white, dude. So actually, here's the big question. Which plan should I play after e3? Actually, wait a second. On a5, is e3 the top computer move? Wow. Look at that, dude. So, we're just going to say over here. E3, definitely a comp move. So the kid is like, he's comped up. The kid is comped up, dude. All right, so after e3, h6 I would never consider. b5 I would definitely consider. e3, dude, that's pretty amazing. Okay, so I played knight e4, bishop e1, and the comp does not like my f5 move. Okay, knight c3, bishop d6, and now amazingly, this a3 move, top computer move, top SF move. All right, so now it lists g5 as the third option, but it then gives b4 as the correct thing. So that's moving g5 up. All right, so I think c5 definitely was a mistake from the kid. This is like the kid's only noticeable mistake in the game, I think. All right. So, I'll actually say something about this. So, yes, positionally scary, but ultimately, it's okay if white doesn't have the immediate b4. SF says he does. I thought he didn't during the game. Okay, so c5. He still doesn't totally mind white's position here. I wouldn't have ever thought of playing bishop e7. No, it's turning my way. You can see it. So we're going to say SF now drops the position down to equal. And perhaps we can say that you often lose games where you overestimated your position. All right, so here we go. Bishop c7, b4. Computer agrees with me, g4. And now it does not like knight d2, prefers knight h4. Nah, I don't like knight h4. Okay, so we'll say SF wants it. I'm just trying to read it, see what it wants. Okay, here we go. Knight d2. I would never consider knight takes c3 here, bruv. Hold on, let's think about this. Knight c3. I'm going to say so queen c3, e5. pretty simple point, dude. It's a pretty simple point. I mean, buddy, I'm coming for you. But hold on. B5, okay. And now why would I ever play E4? See, I looked at that and I didn't want it. If I could play F4, then I'm really with you, but E4. Okay, this is interesting. So what we should say about this, a bind position where a human would be concerned about how we get at White's king. SF says minus 0.7. Well, now it's gone down, so minus 0.5. All right, so I played E5. Now he wants to take on D5. What, D5? That was not on my radar, bruv. Oh, okay. So wait a second. there was a thing available to White, dude. A freaking thing that nobody was thinking about. Nobody was thinking about this one, bro. All right, here we go. Knight D5. C takes. Knight E4. Fe4. C6. Okay, I gotta take it. I'm with you there. Takes. Here. Queen D5. Wow, is it fun? Is that what you want to call it, Cry? Wow. Okay. Whew. SF says equal. Didn't enter my imagination at all. Okay, so we're going to say 16 E5 is the right move, however, if this madness isn't possible. Exclamation. Computer, dude. Dang. Here we go. E5. Knight E2. Queen F. Oh, it doesn't like my queen F6. It likes queen G. There it is. It's my queen F6. All right, queen F6. Look at that. Rook A B1. His weird move is number 2 on the list. Dang. And now knight G5, good friends. All right, hold on. Hold up. Computer does not like my ED4. Why didn't you play knight G5, though? I think that was in my notes. Rook A B1, Mr. Fun. Okay, so here we go. Knight G5 takes knight E5, knight F4. All right, so this is what we need to say. SF likes this position a lot for white. Excuse me, for black. I considered it in my post as well, but thought white was stable. So let's just talk about this here for a second. Stockfish is going rook f7, b5, queen h6. All right, so rook f7, b5, queen h6. No, I didn't. Oh, shoot. So rook f7 works against the knight d5 stuff. How am I getting at him, bruv? How am I getting at him? Okay, so what we'll say here is, but like the later h3 position, it's hard for white to move. Okay, so I thought this was genius level. It still likes my position. Knight d4, knight e5, b5. It's got all kinds of funny moves here. I played h5. I didn't consider h4 at all. Knight e2, h4. Now the computer's humming for me, buddy. Knight f4. Now queen h6 is clever because I'm getting out of the way of the bishop c3 stuff. Yeah, that's a nice one. So we'll say clever. Sidestepping knight e4 and bishop c3. Okay, does it like my h3 move? Bishop h1, knight g5. It agrees with my assessment. Okay, amazing. Now, I played rook f7. All right, here we go. Knight e4, fe4, bishop c3. I now move out of the way. Bishop takes, pawn, pawn, rook b6, hg, hg, rook h7. Now the computer wants knight d5. Okay, hold on. Another amazing computer variation. SF says equal. Holy moly. Oh, man. Can I just say from my human point of view, I was like, okay, if he takes, then I go away, and then I take and we're done. And I'll just say, I ended it here saying I'm up a piece, bro. Dang, computer's next level, man. So, now, let's do my analysis here. A4. Oh, there was another variation I forgot to add. Okay, I got to get to that too. So, queen d1, correctamundo. Bishop c7, correctamundo, bro. Now, rook CB1. I'm not afraid of that. I don't think so anyway. So. Nice. I got that one right, buddy. I got that one right. And then knight C4. Rook F8. Yeah, buddy. That was some good analysis. Bishop C7 is a double exclam move. I'm happy to find that thing. Okay, so. Whew. Bishop A6. Still likes my position a little bit. So here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Oh. And this was my variation, actually. Rook A7. Okay, wait. Turn it off first. Ah, yes, sir. Now. My good, sweet little Lord Jesus. Here we're going to go over here. We're going to say knight D5. Queen H2, King F1, CD5, Bishop H7, double exclam. And then I go here, 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 here. And we're going to say white is at least okay. We're going to say this would have been the more combative move. All right, but the key thing you'd have to see this, and then just bam, and then you're not afraid of queen d5 because of rook ff7, rook hf7. Bang, minus plus. All right, so we're going to analyze this with El Computero, see what he says here. So rook aa7, knight d5, check, king f1, cd5. Okay, bishop h7, rook h. Oh wait, let's just go with the computer here. Rook h7, queen d5. Oh, and then you just swing it back, bruv. Oh, simple enough. Missed this in my analysis. Wow. Okay. So that's no good. And in fact, then queen d5, rook hf7, checked the miserable king, rook f8, bishop d5 check. What? God, that's evil. Look at that. King g7, queen g5. What? Ah! Oh my God, this is some Computero stuff, dude. Wow. Man. Look at that. All right, so check. No human would ever find this, dude. And then we got to go rook f, bishop f7, queen d7, king. Oh my God. King F6. King E2. Oh my God. SF says equal. Oh man, that's hectic. All right, so here we go. Rook F7, and now white's better. Bishop G6 was indeed a great move. All right, my friends, that was amazing. That was amazing. Whew. Right. Søren is saying about how everything gets so concrete in the end game. How to approach it as amateur. Just think about it this way. You just need to, once you realize that it will be concrete, and you realize that the players at your level aren't taking it seriously, they're just making impulsive moves, then you study the end game, you study your games especially, and you're going to be just better than they are. You don't have to be perfect. That's the thing. You don't have to be perfect. You won't be anyway. Maddo says, what a crazy game. Yes, it was. What a mess. What a mess. Okay. I feel like, I don't actually feel that bad about this game. It was very difficult. I put myself in the right spot. I'm playing some kid in first round. Totally evil. Totally evil. And the kid's playing like dark computer moves at the beginning, dude. Dark computer moves. All right, friends, let's raid somebody and get out of here. Who are we going to raid? I haven't seen Zefcat in a long time. Let's raid Zefcat. Zefcat. She might be playing some game that isn't chess, my friends. You never know with Zefcat. You don't know, buddy. This is the Chess Dojo training program. That was brutal. But this part of the program is going over your games, your losses as well. It's always a brutal experience. All right, bye, everybody.